coming. Thank you. It's really wonderful to be with all of you. So I will now just say the prayer which we regularly recite before reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Charitamrita is a very ancient script, 500 years old, which is describing the life of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. So sometimes for you new students, you may be as bewildered as so many other people in the world, because under the name of Hinduism, we think that there are many gods, and it's kind of a little strange and kind of, okay, many gods, but actually it's not a fact. There is just one God, which we strongly believe that it's the same God for Christians, for Muslims, for everybody, the same Supreme Lord, just different ways how to approach the Lord. We are definitely not discriminating between one religion to another. We think that every religion that really leads one to love of Godhead, it's an authorized religion, and it's a proper way how to approach the Lord in their own way. So we have our way, the other devotees of the Lord have other way, and we respect them. So according to our strong convictions, is the same Supreme Lord. But let us see. Okay, you are speaking about one Lord, but on the altar you have so many. How to understand that? So actually, the Lord, the one Supreme Lord, is expanding Himself into many different forms according to time, place, and circumstances. I don't want to go in details. Dalila avatars, Purusha avatars, so many different appearances of the Lord for certain purposes, because the Lord, the Supreme Lord, is nothing but love, compassion, kindness to each and every one of us, to each and every of His children. All living beings are children of the Supreme Lord, and the Lord is so keen on bringing us back to His eternal home, engaged in eternal loving pastimes, free of all material sufferings and varieties and misunderstandings. So that's why the Lord, basically, that's the main reason why He appears in so many different forms, as we have here on the altar. And today we are celebrating one appearance of the Supreme Lord, who is called Gadadhara Pandita, right here. And the Vedic tradition explains that the one Supreme Lord has actually two features, one masculine and one feminine. So the Lord is both male and female together. The male energy is the Purusha, is the Supreme Lord, who is the source of everything, the Supreme Controller, the Supreme Enjoyer. And his female part, this feminine part of the Supreme Lord, is the one who is enjoyed. This is the pleasure potency of the Lord, his loving consort. The loving consort of the Supreme Lord has also many different names, as the Supreme Lord Krishna, you can say Nrsimha, Varaha, Rama, so many different names of the one Supreme Lord. But the female energy of the Lord has also many different names. One of the primary names is Radha, or Radharani, Shrimati Radharani. And she appeared to accompany the Supreme Lord, who appeared just 500 years ago as here on the right side we have Lord Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Lord Gauranga, many different names are the same. Lord Nityananda, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared with his associates. One of them was Gadadhara Pandita, the female energy of the Lord personified, the supreme energy of love and compassion of the Supreme Lord. I will now a little bit read one text from Chaitanya Charitamrita describing the glory of Gadadhara Pandita. And we will speak something about Gadadhara Pandita. So we will recite that verse, which I promise you to do 3 times. You can try to repeat after me. It's not so complicated. Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya, Jayo Nityananda.
Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya, Jayo Nityananda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya, Jayo Nityananda.
Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya, Jayo Nityananda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jayo Gaura Bhakta
Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya Jayo Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
This verse is glorifying the Supreme Lord Krishna, who appeared as Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, Advaita Acharya, and other wonderful devotees. So, maybe I lost the beginning, sorry. Now read the verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, the script that describes the appearance of the Supreme Lord Chaitanya with his personal associates. Yeah. So here it is. It is Adi Lila, the first part of Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 1, text 41. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the internal potencies of the Lord, of whom Shri Gadadhara Prabhu is the foremost. Then next one. Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the personality of Godhead himself, and therefore I offer innumerable prostrations at his lotus feet. Next verse. Having offered obeisances unto the Lord and all his associates, I shall now try to explain these 6 diversities in one. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. There are many annular devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all of whom are considered associates surrounding the Lord. Krishna should be worshipped with his devotees. The diverse principles are therefore the eternal paraphernalia through which the absolute truth can be appreciated. So Gadadhara Pandita, the female part of the Supreme Lord, expression of Srimati Radharani, is the chief internal potency of the Lord. The Supreme Lord, there is really very, very detailed Vedic science describing the Lord and his different energies. It's really scientific. Sometimes the religion is believed to be just a matter of faith. But actually, Srila Prabhupada or Acharya, who our spiritual master who started with our movement, has explained that religion is a science. It's actually the faith part is definitely there. Our love of the heart is definitely there, but it's also very necessarily combined with knowledge of the Supreme Lord. It is said that religion without philosophy is a sentiment, and philosophy without that faith and love for the Lord is just dry knowledge, just material science, would I say. But so both, if they are combined, if they create a perfect combination, when we can achieve the goal of human life. That's why Srila Prabhupada, he was so keen on give us so many wonderful Vedic literatures that describe very much in detail the nature of the Supreme Lord and the scientific process, how to actually reach the platform of spiritual self-realization. When we understand who we are in all eternity, every living being is is a spirit soul. These bodies we are presently now in are temporary coverings of that soul, the body and the physical body and the mind, the subtle body, temporary covering, and they will change. Guaranteed they will change. At the moment of death, we will have to be transformed into another body according to our karma, according to our activities, according to our desires. Actually, the desires in one sense are even more important. Because the desires are truly leading us to the next form. And how much we will be happy or not happy depends on our karma, or in other words, what we deserve, according to our decisions which we have made in this life and previous lifetimes. So, but those desires are so important. That's why we need the Vedic literatures that are very much helping us to understand the mission, the importance of this life, that we really can take full advantage of that and reach our spiritual potential, who we really are in all eternity. And there is a scientific process to that. This was just a little philosophical introduction to Gadadhara Pandit. But I can just now try to describe, because the combination of the philosophy and also seeing the lives of the life, the appearances, the leelas, let us say, the pastimes of the Lord and His pure devotees are as important, because then we can get a higher taste of this most wonderful, we call it rasa, relationships which are free from a material touch, relationships which are based on pure love of the soul. It's just amazing to actually read about that and get this higher taste, and that higher taste will even more strengthen our conviction and our desires to actually reach that higher, highest destination, which human life is meant for. Because it is said that human life, it's so rare. There are so many of our brothers and sisters in so many other life forms. Just let us say this room. There are billions and trillions, and it's just, I think, underestimation how many living beings are in this room, but not in human form. Bacteria, viruses, all kinds of plants are here also. They are also our brothers and sisters. But due to certain karma and desires, one is in the life form. But when we finally, after long evolution of the soul, from one life to another, from a different form to another, we reach the human form. The door to liberation, to our spiritual enlightenment, is actually opening wide. So that's why it's very hard to reach that spiritual platform in other species. So let us all try to listen now about the beautiful pastimes of Gadadhara Pandit, which are helping us to come closer to that beautiful taste of the soul, this longing for that eternal love, which is all kind of served for us on our plate in this life. So Gadadhara Pandit appeared together with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Navadvip, and was 1 year younger than Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was very attached to Lord Gauranga, who is Krishna himself, who is the Supreme Lord himself, from the very childhood. Of course, naturally, because they are inseparable. There is the eternal love between Radha and Krishna was manifested also as Lord Gauranga and Gadadhara Pandit. I don't want to come too much further, but I will later describe one pastime when it was just so beautifully revealed, their identity. In any case, in the beginning, of course, it's a lila. This is the Sanskrit word, which is the word for pastime. In pastimes of the Lord, when He appears in this material world, sometimes the identity of the Lord is covered, identity of His devotees is covered until a certain point, or sometimes it's revealed much later. So now, especially in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lila or pastimes, He appeared specifically as a Chana avatar, as a covered incarnation. So He did not want to reveal too much of His eternal identity as Krishna, even though it was obvious to some, and then even to many. But He tried to always personally cover it, and so then when the Lord appeared, nobody understood that He is the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. They were just thinking He's such a most wonderful, attractive personality, and everybody loved Him. But when He came to his little more grown-up age, and he was still a young boy, but he was more grown up, so he was behaving even as a very proud scholar, and was arguing with everybody. And then that was clashing with the nature of Gadadhara Pandit, because Gadadhara Pandit was very humble, pure devotee of the Lord from the very childhood, and for him the scholarly discussions and arguing on the basis of Shastra were really very unattractive. So when they met, it was a feeling of Gadadhara Pandit as if I just love that person. I love Lord Chaitanya, Krishna, but I cannot be with him. Very contradictory feelings, because he was always arguing, and he was not speaking about Krishna, just arguing about Shastra, discussing different points. Because nowadays it's a little kind of comparison one can make. nowadays for us sports, for example, are very popular. When there is some main football match, everybody's watching on TV, or kind of so many millions and millions of people are just watching. Sports are kind of attractive, and yeah, we are all indulging in that to some degree or another. But 500 years ago, definitely in Navadvip, in Bengal, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, that kind of similar attraction of the people was to the scholarly debates between some great scholars, and they were debating on the Shastra. So one can see a little bit like, in one sense, like as Kali Yuga, this iron age we are living in is progressing. The taste is manifesting in different ways. So that's why the taste, that time, the taste was a little bit more elevated, that it was just arguing on the basis of holy scriptures and discussing different points of philosophy, and it was very attractive for everybody. And nowadays, maybe if there will be such a discussion, not many people will come, or even no one. But when there's a football match, there are millions of people. It was my spiritual master once was giving a lecture in India, some town, and it was announced like a big pandal program. And when he came there, he was very shocked because it was filled with ladies. And there was one man holding a baby. I'm not exaggerating, I'm just quoting what he said. And it was like maybe hundreds and hundreds of ladies and one man with baby. So he was thinking, okay, I'm a sannyasi, I'm in an announced order, how shall I now preach to these ladies? But he started to speak what he was prepared for, and then at the end he could not just let it be, and he asked those ladies, where are your husbands? And they said, they are all watching the football match. There's India against Pakistan, or something like that. And then, no, I think maybe it was cricket. Please forgive me. I forgot. But when that match was over, then the pandal was flooded by men, and they were all celebrating the victory actually by coming to the lecture of the sannyasi. So it's a little our present condition. But whatever, Gadadhara Pandit was definitely not attracted to dry philosophical speculations and arguing and debate. So he tried to actually avoid even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even though he loved him most dearly. But anyway, at one point, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took initiation from the spiritual master, and from that point, he manifested the bhava. This is a Sanskrit word for the deep soul's emotion in relationship to Krishna. So he manifested that love of Radharani for Krishna, which he appeared as a devotee of Krishna. It's a little complicated for the new ones. I don't want to go too much in detail, but in any case, he was absorbed in very wonderful ecstasies of love of Godhead and chanting the holy name together with his most intimate devotees. So then Gadadhara Pandit became completely inseparable companion. So I just would like to say one little pastime which I heard from my spiritual master, Lord Chaitanya, Krishna himself, and Radharani in the form of Gadadhara Pandit, and another devotee, Jagadambika, Jagadhara Pandit. Yes. Jagadhara Pandit. So they were walking together in a forest in Navadvip somewhere, and then there was actually parrot. There was a parrot on the tree. I don't know if you have heard this pastime, very famous pastime. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu grabbed that parrot and started to call out, you are Shuka Goswami, the author. For you knew, it might be very bewildering, but you are the author of Srimad Bhagavatam. Please describe the glories of Radha and Krishna, Radha Shyamasundar in Vrindavan. And he was eager to hear from that parrot. And that parrot started to speak in a human voice. Actually, he started to say, Gora, Gora! Which is the name of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In great ecstasy and love, Gora, Gora! And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very angry. Threw away the parrot. Because he did not want to exhibit that he is none other, together with Gadadhara, Krishna and Radharani. Because why? One of the reasons why he did not want to exhibit it, because in Kali Yuga, in that Iron Age, there are so many pretenders in the spiritual life, so many cheaters. Once even our Srila Prabhupada said, India is the biggest exporter of the cheater gurus. Sorry. Yeah. So India is now becoming very good. Economy is getting much better. They are big exporters in so many items. But maybe nowadays not so many false gurus. But definitely in the time of 60s, 70s, it was very popular to have a guru in the Western world also. And but there were many who were actually cheaters, who were simply after their own aggrandizement, after the money, after followers, after so many things. But this is not the purpose of spiritual life. Spiritual life is meant to reach the soul and the connection of the soul to Krishna, to the Supreme Lord in love. And anybody who can lead is a bona fide spiritual master. But if a person just misleads the people in the name of what? So he's a cheater guru. There's definitely bad karma for that. Yeah. But in any case, that's why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not want to, because it is said that whatever the great man does, the common man follows. This is the statement of Bhagavad Gita. So that's why he was a wonderful Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he would, in Kali Yuga, in this Iron Age, exhibit that he is the Supreme Lord very generously. After him, it will be even more flood of these kind of people who will just. Still, it's there in India. People say, "I'm incarnation of God." They are not. So that's why he wanted to kind of minimize that. But when that parrot sang Gaura Gaura, so he became angry that the parrot revealed his nature. And that parrot afterwards started to speak. You are the Supreme Lord, Shyam Sundar, and Navadvip is not different from Vrindavan, and flew away. That was a pastime. Then there was also another beautiful pastime, and devotees had in the house of Shiva Thakur these most wonderful nocturnal pastimes, no different from Rasa Leela. Wonderful kirtans during the whole night. These devotees were so empowered that actually when our soul gets awakened, the bodily needs diminish very, very much, because we live on a spiritual energy. And those devotees actually were practically not sleeping. They were just the whole night they were singing kirtan, and during the day they were engaged in all kinds of devotional services. I'm not advertising it. This is not maybe our level, definitely not my level, but it's a definitely reachable level. But it's also not necessary. Even we eat a lot of prasadam and sleep a lot for the rest of our life, and then we go back to Godhead, so it's all fine. But I'm just describing the situation as it was there. And Gadadhara Pandita was there also, participating as being the most intimate devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it is said also that in those nocturnal pastimes, the eternal identity of those devotees who were there was revealed. And it was very, very intimate leelas. And at one point it was very ecstatic kirtan. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhara Pandita, they were dancing together. And in their great love, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's complexion turned blackish. And Gadadhara Pandita became the golden color of Srimati Radharani. They were dancing together. And then Advaita Acharya Prabhu just started to worship them, made arati for them. So it was like some few small revelations were there, definitely of their eternal identity, and many others also. Then just to proceed further, I would like to focus on one special pastime today, which happened in Jagannath Puri. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then took sannyas, which is the order of renounced order of life. And when a devotee of the Lord decides, okay, I will just devote my life completely for helping others to come to Krishna. So I will not marry, I will not have any family, just any kind of distraction which can divert me from helping other souls to reach Krishna. That is that kind of so-called sannyas in Sanskrit. Yeah, it's a renounced order of life. But again, in this age of Kali, in this Iron Age, it's not necessary also. We can also devote our whole life as grihastha, as a family people. In any way, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did that. He took sannyas and he traveled to Jagannath Puri, which is a wonderful holy place on the back of the sea in India. It's a east, southeast, or how you call it? Yeah, yeah, northeast, somewhere in India. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. I was there twice by Krishna's mercy. There's ancient deity of Lord Jagannath, Lord Krishna, worshipped there. Very holy place, very, very, very ancient place. Yeah, we want to go into details for the new ones. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had a certain regulation every day. In the morning, he went to the sea to bathe. And after bathing and performing his morning duties, he spent many hours in front of Lord Jagannath, for Krishna in the temple, together with his devotees, and standing behind Garuda Stamba, worshipping the Lord in the mood of separation and love. And then they had a Harinam Sankirtan with devotees. There was a lunch prasad of Mahaprasadam from Lord Jagannath. And then in the afternoon, he went to the place of Haridas Thakur, spent maybe 2 hours with Haridas Thakur every day, every single day. It's such a beautiful, when we understand what is actually going on. Haridas Thakur is the incarnation of Lord Brahma. Who appeared in a family of untouchable people just to show that actually don't try to discriminate anybody according to birth, according to the according to the birth basically, nationality, whatever. It's the matter of one's consciousness, of one's character. We should discriminate actually, of one's devotion especially. And Haridas Thakur was a great devotee of the Lord, being Lord Brahma, and he became Nama Acharya, chanting the holy names of the Lord. So many rounds per day. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually he was a sannyasi, he was from Brahmin family, but still spent 2 hours every day bringing Haridas Thakur Mahaprasadam from Lord Jagannath, serving his pure devotee in such a wonderful, touching way. It's really amazing, just really. Lord Chaitanya, one of the missions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna, who came 500 years ago, was to kind of take away from human society this hypocritical caste consciousness, when people identify so much with birth but not with their own qualities. So he was very much against the hypocrisy, which is very common in Kali Yuga. So he worshipped Haridas Thakur, and then after that he went to the place of Gadadhara Pandita, and with him he spent 2 or 3 hours every day at least reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is such a wonderful pastime. I would like to really speak about more in detail, because for us, Srimad Bhagavatam, this is another scripture. Maybe new students, you know that one of our main scriptures from Hinduism, that's sometimes called Hinduistic Bible, is Bhagavad Gita. You have probably heard about Bhagavad Gita, yeah. And then when we finish the reading of Bhagavad Gita, studying Bhagavad Gita, which is giving us very basic knowledge of the soul, of the Supreme Lord, of the person, how to reach him, then we may study Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam deepens us more in that rasa, in that relationship with the Supreme Lord, because there we can read very much about those beautiful, intimate pastimes of the Lord with his devotees, and how devotees behave together with the Lord, and how they behave with each other. It's a very wonderful literature. Actually, there are different. Anyway, I just say, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada, he once mentioned, if in the world there happens catastrophe, total catastrophe, now all the books in the entire world are destroyed, but Srimad Bhagavatam remains, nothing is lost. But there is one more additional point of view. If Chaitanya Charitamrita becomes lost, no. Then we prefer Chaitanya Charitamrita to Srimad Bhagavatam, but whatever. But Srimad Bhagavatam is extremely important scripture for us. Every syllable is leading us to pure love for Krishna. So they were studying together Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhara Pandit, and because they were on such a most elevated spiritual platform, those syllables of Srimad Bhagavatam, what to speak about the words and sentences and the paragraphs and the pastimes described in Bhagavatam, just brought about, just touching their heart in such a way that there were torrents of tears constantly flooding them, and in one sense, unfortunately or fortunately, flooding those pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, so that at the end, the Bhagavatam became practically unreadable. But they were exhibiting such a high spiritual taste. Like, for example, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu especially preferred to read the pastimes of Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj. And here, actually, from Gadadhara Pandit. Gadadhara Pandit was reciting, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was hearing. They were discussing together. And most of the time, one single pastime of, for example, Dhruva Maharaj had to be read for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu somewhat being satisfied and satiated 100 times, at least. 100 times, again and again and again. Gadadhara Pandit was reading the same pastime, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was relishing them in great ecstasy. So they were just crying and reading, and so now we are a little bit touching upon that taste of the soul. When our soul gets awakened, there is just nothing is boring. There is no question of boredom, because we perceive that Krishna is everywhere and manifesting in different ways, and we can relate to Krishna. And especially reading from the scriptures, it's all manifestation of Krishna's knowledge, Krishna's love for us. This Vedic knowledge is a supreme personalistic knowledge, you can say. It's a really it's a knowledge which reveals the reality. There is nothing which is impersonal. Everything is personal, and everything has eternal value in relationship to Krishna. That's why advanced devotees, for example, just a little example, when they, let's say, carry something and they have to open the door at the same time, they prefer not to use their feet to open the door, because they have this higher realization that the door is energy of Krishna. Why should I touch it unnecessarily with my foot? Sometimes it's necessary, okay, then it's forgiven. But it's a very advanced platform. But just to a little bit illustrate that really there is absolutely nothing impersonal, and everything is valuable. And then such life becomes very exciting. Definitely never boring, never stagnant, and full of love and honor. So they were just worshipping in great ecstasy. And there, Gadadhara Pandit, in that place, it was happening in a temple which is called Tota Gopinath Mandir, Tota Gopinath temple. And that deity of Lord Gopinath, which is Lord Krishna, is, I have heard by some scholarly investigations, that deity is the form of Krishna that appeared to Lord Brahma in the beginning of creation, after Lord Brahma meditated for so many long years, and then he got revelation as a result of his tapasya, of his austerities, and what he performed. Then Lord Krishna appeared to him and congratulated him, and revealed to him also his service of creating on behalf of Krishna within the universe all kinds of life species, arrangements for creation. And he also revealed to him the nature of himself, the nature of this material world, and the nature of Goloka Vrindavan, the supreme spiritual planet. Because our Lord Brahma, in each and every universe, there is a different personality called Lord Brahma. This is actually the name of the post, you can say. But in our universe, we are very fortunate, because our Lord Brahma is the devotee of Krishna. He is a Vaishnava from, he has his eternal relationship in Goloka Vrindavan. So that's why Lord Krishna revealed to him Vrindavan. And Lord Brahma composed the text, which unfortunately just part of it is saved, as I understood. whatever. The text is called Brahma Samhita. It's many verses describing this revelation, which the first created being in the universe got revealed from Lord Krishna. And so that the deity of Gopinath was manifested after Lord Brahma got revealed Goloka Vrindavan. So it's the most ancient deity in this universe, and we can all go to Jagannath Puri, travel there and see that deity. So this is such a special fortune. So if I can recommend humbly everybody, please take advantage of that. At least once in a life, go to Jagannath Puri and visit Tota Gopinath, the most ancient deity, the most ancient appearance of Krishna in this universe. Very, very special deity, and the deity also manifested very beautiful pastime. Now I will just come a little more further up, because when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared from this world, then it was such an anguish of separation for Gadadhara Pandit. He simply could not live without Lord Gauranga. And how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared from this world? So he is the Supreme Lord himself. He chose to also kind of confirm that there will be no doubt about him, that he does not leave behind himself some kind of material body to rot away or whatever, be burned, or as all of us have to do. So there was actually beautiful kirtan, beautiful singing at that temple of Tota Gopinath. Many devotees were there, and suddenly Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went just to the altar room and closed the door. And devotees continued their beautiful, ecstatic, most wonderful singing. And suddenly in their heart, they felt such emptiness, such sorrow, and they could not understand. They felt, we never felt it in the presence of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, such feelings. How is it possible? And they, in total anguish, ran to the altar, opened the door, and they saw that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not there. He entered to the form of Lord Gopinath, to his own form actually. Krishna entered his own form. And there was a mark on his chest, I think. It's a mark on his body. I don't remember, but some mark on his body where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered. And at the same time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was seen to enter in the same way to the body of Lord Jagannath, another form of Krishna in Jagannath Puri. And at the same time, he entered the ocean. So also the bathing in that ocean there, it's a most purifying, wonderful experience. So I really recommend everybody to take advantage of that. Now, the opportunity we all still have, hopefully we will. There will not be Third World War and we cannot travel anywhere. Pray, please protect us that we can still travel to India, to holy places, and get wonderful, wonderful blessings. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared in this way, and then so he was just 48 years old, and Gadadhara Pandit that time was 47 years old, so relatively young, according to the human physiognomy. But then from the time of disappearance of Lord Gauranga, it is said that Gadadhara Pandit, one day he aged like 1 year. He was constantly crying, could not eat, could not do anything, just remember Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, chanting the holy name, reading Bhagavatam, and just feeling extreme love of separation, love in separation. And 1 year after, he himself also entered the body of Lord Gopinath. So Radharani joined, Srimati Radharani joined her Krishna, being the same actually. Radha and Krishna never separated, always together. So he entered the body of Gopinath. So that's also another wonderful proof that there is no material body left behind like that. So they are all Radha and Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhara Pandit. So whoever connects to Gadadhara Pandit, because Srimati Radharani, as we explained in the beginning, is the energy of compassion and love of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Krishna. So he is the most merciful personality. Most merciful. So whoever approaches Gadadhara Pandit becomes very much blessed. So today, on that very special day when we are celebrating Gadadhara Pandit's appearance, we can all pray very most important prayer of our lives, let us say. that Gadadhara Pandita, Radharani, and Krishna will help us to make all necessary spiritual advancement in this very life, so that we can go back home, back to Godhead. That we don't have to be born again in this very painful, very dangerous material world, and we get revealed our eternal identity in the love, in relationship with the Supreme Lord. So let us pray on that very day, when we celebrate His appearance, for His mercy, for His kind protection, because it is said that in the material world there is a danger at every step. And what to speak about in Kali Yuga, in the Iron Age, there's maybe thousands of dangers at every step. It's a age. One wonderful devotee, Pankajangri Prabhu, very wonderful senior Vaishnava from whatever, I don't want to go in detail for you once. He once mentioned that in Kali Yuga, in this Iron Age, every atom of our bodies, in our mind, or whatever in our surrounding, is against our spiritual purpose. We are going through so much opposition, and yeah, in one sense the Lord allows that, because this opposition is also not bad for us. It helps us to become stronger, but it's a difficult age. We are all have to become purified also from our material conditionings, misconceptions, the so-called anarthas, unwanted things in our heart. There's enemies of bhakti are there, 6 basic enemies of bhakti, who are ready to kill our spiritual life totally. Pride, anger, lust, envy, illusion, please help me.
Greed.
Thank you so much. Yeah, greed. Yeah. So all these are sometimes bombarding us at all of them at one point. Sometimes just one at times. Whatever. But we are under the attack. It is the war. It is the war against illusion, against material entanglement. That we somehow or other win this war of our spiritual identity in love for Krishna. But we have also many helpers for our side, so we are not alone, and Gadadhara Pandita is definitely one of them. Srila Prabhupada is our main general in our movement, and he is a big warrior, and when we connect to him through his words, he is guiding us in a very wonderful way how to somehow or other win that war we are all knowingly or unknowingly in, actually. Sometimes when we are very much, let us say, intoxicated by the material atmosphere from within, from without, we don't even understand, because maybe our purpose also is not so clear. When our purpose of our spiritual advancement is not so clear, so we are just swimming alone, like some waves of material energy are there, a little wave of some spiritual thing, but it's a very dangerous platform. We may die any moment. It's a fact. None of us know how long we will be here in this world, and what our consciousness, what our desires will be at that moment of death. What have we achieved by our life? That will determine our next life. So that's why it's just so extremely important to be aware that we have every moment is a gift, every moment is a great treasure, and we should really use it for our best self-interest. So that's why one has to be intelligent and understand what is our best self-interest. Is it to watch football games, or is it just to have a good time with our friends? This is all necessary sometimes for the mind and for the body, and whatever we go sporting, this is all necessary and fine. But we should never forget our main purpose, and be very intelligent and use this life for achieving that. So let us pray today to Gadadhara Pandita to help us. And thank you so much for your kindness. And if there is any short question, we can maybe take. Yeah.
There was a beautiful explanation about why Lord Chaitanya, when he came to Christ, not to reveal himself being the supreme personality of Godhead. And actually Krishna, but like Lord Chaitanya did reveal that in some private circumstances. Like Shad Buddha and all these examples, but at the same time when it comes to Krishna, like it was the other way around. Because when Mother Yashoda asked him to open the mouth and this, but then he just tried in any way to not expose himself being supreme personality of Godhead with his close ones to have those sweet relationships. But at the same time, when it comes to Bhagavad Gita, where it is so basically Krishna says, I do no one, God. So why is that? For Krishna counsel, he actually tells everyone, I'm God, but he's right.
I feel like I really answer. Maybe Gadadhara Mataji can answer that.
Actually, I didn't hear what you said. You speak quite low. My hearing is bad. So this is not a good combination, so please someone else will help us.
You can repeat with your voice.
Yes. Why Krishna, when he was here, not Lord Chaitanya, but Krishna, 5,000 years ago when he appeared, why he was so much exhibited that he is God, and he was like demanding that, let us say, worship as God. Not always, but most often. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the opposite.
Chaitanya is actually Krishna, as we all know. And he came here in Kali Yuga, where everyone wants to be puffed up and be the Lord actually, and master everybody else. And Lord Chaitanya, when he was here, and what he was, his activities was to connect us with Krishna, and not, fire up our false ego and think that we are Krishna. So therefore he didn't want to show who he was. He presented himself like a humble servant, always serving his devotees. I mean, that was so sweet what he was doing. He was carrying their luggage, he was washing their laundry, he was, it's like totally touching the heart of everyone. And in many different ways he showed this, that he's a servant and he wants everyone to serve, devotional service for the pleasure of the Lord. So, as this what's the name of the girl? He wanted to, he had no idea that he should cover it for the pleasure of the Lord. But still, inside, the Lord was happy, that one person is here, recognizing who am I. But he didn't want this. And also there was another situation, I don't remember, the devotees, no, it was not devotees, it was someone else. And when they tried to reveal his identity, he held his ears and he said, oh, Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. So, Krishna, in the being of form from the Kurukshetra and all that, he somehow or other, he was in that, Gadadhara Pandita, he had another role than Lord Chaitanya. So for him, to show that he is what he is. But still, he was so wonderful, he wanted to avoid this war. And he went to Duryodhana and tried to make some kind of agreement that there should be no war. But even he was showing his universal form, yes. But still, it didn't hit any of the nerves inside. So still there was coming, but Krishna was so sweet. He was doing, errands for the Pandavas, and he did so many things as a servant. But still, his greatness, he was, kingly there in this Pandava family and all this. This is quite another circumstances. And he couldn't be like Lord Chaitanya at that time. How is this possible?
Thank you so much. Yes, it struck me also that that time people were also much more ready to understand, to surrender to God. So that's why he had to exhibit it also, just for the benefit. Whatever Krishna does is always for the benefit of each and every living being. So how he behaves, it's according to time, place, and circumstances, he behaves differently, just to reach the most people, just to help the most people. But still, is described when Krishna was here. Just very few people understood, in spite of he exhibited so many incredible qualities and whatever. So it's still very, very difficult to understand that he is the Supreme Lord. But that's why also he had to come as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and together with Srimati Radharani, with that compassionate mood as Srimati Radharani, to reach the hearts of so many. It is said that Krishna, when he was here, he was demanding full surrender, and then he reached the ultimate benediction of going back home, back to Godhead, to Golokam Vrindavan. But that's why people at the time were more qualified, much more qualified than we, and some of them could surrender. But nowadays, if the Lord would demand full surrender, we will not be able to do that. That's why he comes in the mood of Radharani, mother. Let us say Radharani, the female part of the Lord, is like a mother for all of us. And the mother is always very lenient to children. The father sometimes plays a little bit in a traditional kind of role, a little harder, the father kind of demands certain respect and a certain obedience and like that. And it's a very proper, necessary for small children to grow up properly. But the mother is always very loving, kind, and forgiving. And in appearance as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so it is said that he, together with Panchatattva, they were not looking at any disqualification of anybody. If anybody, just on the price of faith, that was the only price which person had to pay for receiving the highest benediction. So this is actually incredible. If there is some kind of faith, some kind of readiness to receive, they give. Haribo. So that's why we are so fortunate to be here. Now the movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is spreading all around the world in a wonderful, wonderful way. There are more and more people becoming vegetarians, more and more people know about kirtan, karma. This is like a common word nowadays. It's the way how to, kirtan is the way how to worship the Lord in Kali Yuga. And anybody can do it, small children can do it, no handicap practically is counted. So we are all invited to participate in the most wonderful way, going back home, back to Godhead, by kirtan. But now, I will finish. If there is not anybody, some special comment, anybody wants to say something now. So we will now read Dauji Prabhu came. So we will read about Gadadhara Pandita. Thank you so much, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare